Sean Sherry Coco. And if you haven't already, please subscribe, like, share. Today's episode I'm going to be talking about is my journey from Connecticut to Boston and how I have my own apartment and everything that I literally did and my moves. Because you guys already know the vibes, so I'm super excited to share everything for you. And let's begin. So basically, how I decided to go down to Boston. Originally, I'm from Connecticut, and every little thing you need is with cars. Like, you literally need a car to go down to the street. You need a car to go to the park. You need a car for every transportation. Boston, none of that. Boston, you need a bus. People don't even use their cars. You know, a lot of people that I encountered in Boston didn't even have a license. And I'm like, what? You ain't got a license? They're like, yeah, we don't, Boston, you don't even need a license. Because you're always depending on public transportation. Okay, so background story. So the reason why I decided to move to Boston was because I wanted to get into grad school. So the grad school that I got into was Emerson College, which is located in Boston. It's located downtown. So I'm like, okay, bet. Like, it's downtown. It's what I see in the movies. I'm super excited. So my major is communication and business, so I wanted to go into television and I wanted to own my own television network. So for my undergrad, those are the two things that I majored in. So I decided to get my master's because I felt like with undergrad, a lot of people don't tell you, it's just like sometimes you don't really have as much hard experience in your field because you're focusing on so many different things. Like freshman year, like I was taking all these classes that I didn't really need, but for me to fit the credit requirement, I had to take those certain classes. So I'm like, yeah, I had to definitely take those classes. So I'm like, I don't want to take all those. I had to take yoga. I'm like, what do I need yoga for? But yoga was really good, but I was like, I'm trying to be on TV and I'm over here taking yoga. I was asking my advisor, I was asking different professors, do you guys think I should just go straight into getting my master's? And everyone was like, no, find a job first and then have like your job pay for you to go get your master's. For my undergrad, for senior year, I applied to like literally 100 jobs a day. I would literally write down the jobs because I was still repeating myself. I'll go on Indeed. I'll go on LinkedIn. I'll go on jobstelevision.com. I'll get calls. I'll go in there. Once they hear my age, once they hear that I'm like from undergrad, nobody really wants to hire you, especially being on TV. Like they're looking for more like an experience-based person. Like, okay, how many jobs she had being on air? Has she done this? Has she done that? And I just felt like I didn't really have that heavy experience and I wanted to build up my portfolio. So I didn't listen to my professor. I sure didn't listen to my advisor. I just went straight into getting my master's. First, I Googled schools in the Connecticut area about communication, television in general, and there was only 2 schools. It was about UHart. And then UConn didn't have one, which I was like shocked about. And then Quinnipiac. Quinnipiac was really a hard school to get into, and I went to go see that school. And I wasn't really getting really good vibes from that school. Like, I was like, it's a nice school and whatever. Don't get me wrong, but my heart wasn't in that place. But I was like, you know what? I'm still going to apply to that school because it's like, it's in Connecticut. My dad was like, who's going to take care of you? You need to, my dad's African. So he's like, you need to be smart and, Connecticut is here. And all this stuff, and I'm just looking at him like, okay, Connecticut's here, and so what? So I literally applied to that school. We didn't really get too much of a good vibe from that school and whatever. So, Emerson College was a second one. Emerson College is in Boston, so I decided to Google stuff in Boston. I did look at schools in New York, but they were like, I visited a lot of schools in New York, and I wasn't really getting that vibe from New York school, which is weird. But Emerson College was a school that I originally wanted to go to first for undergrad. But everybody was telling me from my high school, like, you can't get into that school. Your GPA is really that low. Like, you should have reached schools. Don't waste your time. And at the time, me being a kid, like, I listened. I was like, you know what? They're right. They were requiring for 2 months. So I was like, yeah, I'm not about to do that. So I was like, you know what about Emerson College? I always wanted to get into that school. I always had like a low GPA and yada, yada, yada. So for my undergrad, I decided like, you know what, it's time to take a risk and God will be my provider. So I applied to Emerson College. I prayed on it. And I remember getting the phone call. This lady, she didn't want to tell me that I got accepted. She did it so, like, she was like, girl, you gonna do everything on your own. She called me. She was like, check your email. She's like, can you please check your email? I'm so, like, and I'm like, why do I gotta check? Just tell me if I got accepted to the school or not. And she was just like, nah, check your email. So, cool. I put in my password, put in everything, my ID. I was so mad because I'm like, girl, just tell me for. So all of a sudden, I just started praising God, like, oh my God, I got accepted to the master program in Boston. Like, my life is gonna change. I'm so excited. I'm gonna go into the city. Everything that you see on TV, this is gonna be me. Period. I'm so happy. I'm happy. I am happy. So I got accepted, whatever. And my dad sees the school, my mom sees the school, and my mom's like, you know, how are you gonna pay for it? And all this different things. I'm like, you know what? God will be my provider. And she was like, you know, that's good, but deadass, sis, how you about to pay for that? So I had to like literally like Google some jobs and temp jobs for a minute. So I literally had jobs back to back. So then that's when I moved down there. So then how did I find an apartment? I was like, yo, how did you find an apartment so fast? Because I literally got accepted to Boston, and in I think 3 weeks I moved down there. I know, crazy, right? I moved down there in 3 weeks. I was out like a light. Like literally I moved out. I met this girl, crazy. We met at ASA, the African Society Association. I think that's what it stands for. So we like always used to do fashion shows together, and we're just talking and we're babbling and whatever. And she's like, yo, I just got a job in Boston, but I'm looking for a roommate. Once she said she got a job in Boston, she's looking for a roommate, I was like, girl, me too. So she was like, yeah, I'm looking for a roommate, yada yada yada. So I'm like, okay, bet, like, let's move in together. So as crazy as it sounds, because me and her were always cool. We always used to sleep over each other's houses, each other's dorms anyways. So I just felt like, okay, she's gonna be my roommate. And we found this perfect, beautiful apartment 5 minutes away from the city. On the train was literally down the street. And my rent was only $750 with everything including with water, gas, AC. And I just felt like, yo, God really provided. So how did I move around? Because like Boston, you don't need a car. I encountered so many people in Boston that just didn't have a car. People didn't even drive. People didn't even have a license. Connecticut, that's like unheard of. Like if you don't got a license, people gonna look at you like, what you mean? What you mean you ain't got a license? Like you ain't got your license? Like girl, boy, bro, like get your license because this is Connecticut. We use cars for everything. This is not New York. You better find a car. So my mama told me to leave my car down here, learn how to take public transportation. In the beginning, I'm not gonna lie, I was scared because I'm like, what if I get lost? Because the colors, I don't know nothing about trains. I don't know nothing. Like, I used to dog people out, especially guys. I used to talk about guys who take the city bus. I'm like, yeah, guys that take the city bus, don't talk to me. Guys that ride bikes who try to holler at you, yeah, don't bring that here, sis. Don't keep it over there. So now it's me who dog people out is doing the same thing that they're doing. So in the beginning, I was taking like Ubers, and you know, I was still having my temp jobs. Like I was working. I didn't really have like a stable job. Like I was like literally working back to back like jobs, crazy jobs. I was taking crazy jobs. I remember I was scared of dogs, and I took a dog watching dogs. Like walking dog. I was so scared. The dogs would be running. I'd be holding a whole bunch of like dogs on the leashes, and I'm like, don't touch me. Like terrified of dogs. I would do crazy stuff like that, just to get bread to pay for my apartment because I literally had no help. And let's go back. I didn't have any help from family to pay for my bills or anything like that. Family members did not come to visit me, but my friends, who are my friends to this day. Like, those are my sisters. They came down as soon as they heard that I moved to Boston. They drove down here, helped me with groceries, you know, that first week, helped me decorate my room, put mirrors up in the wall. And that's what friends are supposed to do, motivate me. Every week they were coming over. Like, I felt like they were living with me in my room. Like, coming over, talking to me. We went out many places out to eat, everything like that. And they were just being real. That's what friends are supposed to do. When you move to stuff like that and they could like help you in any way and come down there and visit you, those are your sisters. To this day, I claim my friends as my sisters, because that time when I needed like people to come and visit me, I think my mom only visited me once, my dad visited me once, but my friends visit me continuously. It was like, okay, girl, Thursday we coming, Friday we leaving. And it was just like, what? Like, I'm telling you, it would be like back to back to back to back to back to back. So when I was with my girls, they helped me with this, also learning how to take the train. They helped me also learn my Boston community. I have made so many different friends. So how I learned how to take the train, I took it with some girl from my program. I took it once, and then when I took it, it was literally easy to take. So if you're in Boston and you just moved down there to Boston and you're nervous about taking the train, I'm telling you, I never took a train a day in my life in Connecticut. When I moved down to Boston, I'm a train expert. I can go here, all over. I love taking the train more than I like taking the bus, which is weird because like the bus, it has windows and it's not like as hot. But with the train, it's like in and out, you're walking. I love interacting with people. And I just felt like Boston for me was the place that God originally wanted me to live in. That's what I thought. Because when I'm in Connecticut, depressed. When I hit Boston, like, it's like my depression comes out. I mean, not really depressed, but like, you know, like you got like, oh, I'm here in Connecticut, like there's nothing to do. Boston, I'm just so like, I just have this energy and I'm just like so literally happy that I'm here. Like, I don't know why. Like, every little thing like makes me laugh. Even when I'm talking about it, I'm just like smiling. Y'all see it? Smiling. That's the Boston glow. Like, I loved it. I liked how there was like food in every like, you know, places, bodegas. Downtown where my school was, it was like the mall, Macy's, TJ Maxx, Marshalls. Like, it was like, you know, the only thing I didn't like about Boston, Connecticut literally doesn't really have birds. Boston has pigeons. That's the one thing I need to worry about, is the pigeons. Because I'm telling you, the pigeons and me, we did not get along. I'm scared of pigeons. The squirrels are your best friends in Boston. Literally, they be walking right by you. I'm terrified of squirrels. So it'll be like, I'm bougie. So it'll be me and my little bag and whatever, and I see a squirrel, I'm like running the other way. Meanwhile, people are petting it. It's like on people's skin. And they're like, why is this a squirrel? I'm like, yeah, it's just rabies too. Yeah, it's just, they can kill you. It's not a pet. But Boston, those people are different. And I like how Boston, like, everybody was different, you know? Like, I saw so many, like, different cultures, different food. I would try foods every day. And I just feel like the friends that I made in Boston were amazing blessings in my life. Everybody that I met in Boston was a blessing in my life. The friends that I made, the church that I joined. Did I meet guys? Yeah, I met guys, but I didn't talk to guys like crazy. I didn't have a boyfriend in Boston. I didn't really talk to guys like that in Boston at all. Really, at all. I just felt everybody was just cool. Like, everybody was just on a vibe type of cool. Like, everyone was just, like, dealing with the vibes. When we went to, like, places, we went, like, me and my friends, like, my friends came down one weekend, and we tried to, like, find, like, African places, because me, I'm African, so we were trying to just find, like, African places for me, like, trying to find my African people. And literally, I did. I met so many different African people. I love them. They were trying to teach me about like my hair, like where to get my hair braided, who to sew. Boston people, African people in Boston, with the prices to sell clothes. Hey, I was like, yeah, I'm selling my clothes in Connecticut. They were so clothes for mad money, like Simple Styles, talking about $300. Girl, bye. I'm not about to pay $300 for a Simple Styles. No. Hair, when they braid somebody, an African lady like that braids their hair and whatever, I heard it's like $300, $250. I'm not paying $250. I never paid $250 to braid my hair. That's ridiculous. $300, not paying that. Like, So I used to always do my own hair. I used to braid it and whatever. But this hair is from Mikey. I'm gonna drop him down. Like, he literally did my color, did the hair. He's also sells hair. He's an amazing, very professional hairstylist. I didn't even think I could rock blonde. And look at it. Look. I look like, you know, I really look like, to me, I feel like I look like Little Kim. But maybe I'm gassing it a little bit. I love my hair. But yes, so that's my story time of how I moved. Didn't really have family to like really help me or to like, you know, put money in my pocket. Like, I literally had to do jobs after jobs. Like, I had to be a job. But literally, it taught me so much stuff. It taught me how to depend on God. It taught me that to trust friends again, because before I wasn't trusting none of my friends. Like, I feel like everybody was a suspect. But it taught me that, you know, God placed my friends for a reason. And to this day, those are my sisters. I love them. And I thank God for each and every one of them. I thank God for, like, people that didn't help me, support me, or whatever the case is. And during this quarantine, I'm just learning so much. I'm working from home. Thank God. I love working from home because literally, I can be in my sweatpants with just a nice top with a blazer, be in my room when I'm done, go downstairs and eat, and watch my love of hip hop. Or I literally put my computer on mute and I'm watching my TV and I'm just like typing up stuff or whatever, put my headphones in and just type up whatever they have to do. So hopefully in the next couple of months you guys hear me on the radio, see me on TV. I'm gonna be bigger than big. So definitely subscribe. I love you guys. Again, if you're trying to move to Boston or just any area, definitely go for it. Pray about it. Pray to whoever you want to pray to. Take that step. If it's in your heart and you feel like this is what you want to do, baby, go for it. Thank you so much for watching. Definitely thank you guys for watching. Definitely subscribe, like, share. If you guys have any other questions about moving, I can definitely, you know what I'm gonna do that a lot of people find it trouble, like looking for apartments and stuff like that. I'm going to have like an apartment link for like students or anybody that's looking for like apartments, Facebook apps, Facebook links to apartments, jobs, temp jobs that I had to take. If you're in the Boston area, just any area at all, I'm gonna help you guys out because literally I had to figure it out for myself. And I actually had help from people here in Boston, which really helped me out a lot. I'm about to go to bed. As you guys can see, my bed is not done because I'm about to drop in it. Thank you guys so much for watching and tuning in. Bye. Love you guys.